What's up, everybody? Kafka here. And during the live stream of Dawn of the Hunt, ZiggyD was able to ask a bunch of questions. I want to go over the ones that I think are the most important and share my thoughts on those and go over some of those key features that is coming to the Dawn of the Hunt. So the first thing I want to talk about is the recombination. So they're changing the way expeditions worked before. So how you would upgrade an item through an expedition, and this new feature is called Recombination. So basically, once you complete one expedition, you unlock these, and you're still going to use things like the artifacts to use this new feature. But I think it's really cool, and I'm really surprised of what they actually did. So what you do is you take two weapons. So you see you got a weapon right up here, and you got a weapon here, and you're able to smash those together, and it makes one weapon. So it's very RNG. Well, the night before the live stream, they talked about it, and they're like, we don't want it to be as RNG. So what they did is, so basically now, before just smashing them together and hoping you get what you want out of the two, now you're going to be able to pick certain things. So maybe you want attack speed and +5 to skills on this one. You'd pick those two, and then you'd pick two on the other way, and you have a really good chance of putting those together. And the cool thing about this is they thought about this the night before the live stream, and they're trying to implement it for Dawn of the Hunt release on Friday. Well, that might not happen, but that shows right there how much they care about the game. Something as small as that wasn't sitting right with them. So they actually went through and said, hey, we're going to change it. It might not come out right away, but let's change it to something that's going to make more sense and more give us the feeling of a craft. So now this feature, Recombination, is going to be such a good feature for crafting. I love it. I'm glad I went through this video because I'm learning so much more. All right, so if you didn't think that Huntress was going to be amazing, listen to this. I really do think that they went all out. I'm not saying it's Diablo 4 Spiritborn, but
certainly playing the Huntress now makes me go back and look at the other classes and be like, we need to up that the level there, and we missed the mark a little bit now because this is better. And who's to say the next class won't even be better and make us question even this? But you know,
but that's the way it is with class design.
That's what he says when we like literally when you make a new class, you question everything. He's not understating the level of questioning everything.
That's the way it is. So that tells me right there, there's not too many changes for some of the other Ascendancy classes. But we'll have to see when the patch notes comes. I'm still planning on playing the Ritualist first. I do want to make a Lich. I do like the Warrior too, but we'll have to see how that all plays out. But coming from the mouth right there, they're saying that they're going to be strong. So if you want to play a strong class, which I always recommend, play a strong class at the beginning of the game, because why wouldn't you want to be really powerful to get the gear to then maybe level up some other Ascendancy classes that you might want to try out in the future? What I'm really excited about is Spectres. They come out at level 7. You could get the Blind Spectre skill. This basically, what this does, it lets you raise different monsters. Anyone watching solo leveling with Kafka, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that. This is so sick. Such a good anime, by the way. But look at this. You could raise all the mobs you killed, and you could summon them in the skill panel. Different kinds of monsters, you could try them out. There's probably thousands of different army of specters that you could summon. Look at these huge specters. You could combine them with your existing minions that you have. Man, this looks so cool. You could really customize the army of your undead. So listen to this. If you want to play a Spectre build, this is what I'm talking about.
We're talking about all the broken. There's going to be some broken in there, I promise you. And there's going to be some stuff we have to change.
What they're saying is there is going to be a ton of support gems that are just going to make the Spectres really unreal. So there's going to be some broken ones. I think they even say there's some broken stuff going on. There it is. There is some broken in there, so we got to find it with the Spectres. Come on, baby. Let's go. At the first glance of this new mount called the Rhoa mount, I did not think it was broken. It doesn't look that much faster than running around, but then they started talking about it. And this made me think something on this thing might be really good. We're going to have to check it out in game, but look at this.
We want to just make sure that we've got like, you know, sort of fun things like that. And like it's just a cool fantasy. Like there's stuff like that that I just want to get in. And it's like, you know, look, if it doesn't work later, if we have to nerf it, I mean, sure, I suppose. But, you know, like I want something like that to exist. You know, we believe that it is balanced.
Right there. It's probably really strong. So definitely check out the Rhoa mount. I don't know how much spirit it costs. Maybe we could go back and see when we could actually get it. So it's Link. It's 60 spirit. You get it at level 14. So we know that now. Definitely try it out. Looks pretty sweet. They did spend some time talking about uniques. There is going to be over 100 uniques that is in the game. One thing they talked about is that not all uniques are meant for endgame. Some is meant to level with and utilize during the leveling process. Endgame uniques, there are going to be some added. We're going to have to find out on our own which ones those will work in the endgame. But I like that rather than here's your mythic uniques and you are going to have to equip these at the endgame to be extremely powerful. So love that. Over 100 uniques. Let's go. All right, so here we're going to talk about crafting a little bit. Increase of omens dropped. Question on? If anyone could answer it in chat. Actually, no one's probably going to be able to answer that, but every window will have an omen. So most of the time in endgame, you're able to get 2 windows. So hopefully we could get 2 omens per ritual run in endgame. That will give us a better chance to get items for crafting because omens are the best way to craft late game. So this is pretty interesting. So you on a wand or a staff, you can't upgrade the actual quality of it. It actually enhances the skill. So also you cannot socket a wand. So this is pretty interesting here.
Well,
it was more just a choice for asymmetry where we just wanted these things to feel different. There was also just like a little bit of a like, in the future, we'll add some system where we can do something else there. And so just not having everything be completely identical, much like how, you know, the quality on those weapons works differently, where it affects the skill as opposed to just, you know, base damage.
I do think it is something that we should be probably looking into sooner rather than later, though.
Yeah,
because the asymmetry thing.
I like that. Let's look into it. I want some runes for my wands and my staffs, especially like staffs. I hope they did something for staffs when we get the full update, because staffs seem kind of like dull and nobody's using them. But maybe because they did talk about that in this league update, that really nothing's going to feel the same. What was like great before probably isn't going to be great now. So maybe staffs got a buff. We shall see when the full patch notes come out. This is going to be something that you're going to want to understand. This was pretty confusing for me at the start. So in the center here, you see that we have this big circle that looks corrupted. This is a corrupted nexus. And you can see that we have these corrupted maps. So the corrupted maps with bosses can drop uniques that could only drop on corrupted maps with bosses. Very important, because you could do all these corrupted ones, probably the ones with the bosses are the most important, and leave the nexus alone at the beginning. But once you actually beat the corrupted nexus, it cleanses all the rest of these corrupted. And that's how you get fractured orbs. So you see the boss here. Oh, so you see after you killed this boss. So this boss right here spawned at the end of killing all the rares in this moss. It is a corruption map. You kill this guy and then you get your skill points. So probably early on, you're going to want to do the corruption maps before you do the nexus so you could get all of your passive skill points. I always said this before. Completing your atlas is a key priority. Complete your atlas as soon as possible. And then you can start doing the cleanse maps. And the cleanse maps is what gives you fractured orbs. So cleanse maps look like this. So now that we beat this nexus over here, you guys see it over here. Now you have cleanse maps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 came even on the tower. All right, there it is. Fracturing orb. That's the only way you're going to get this orb. It's through completing cleansed maps. Little bit confusing, but if you want the unique rewards and the Atlas points, you do the corrupted maps before you cleanse the Nexus. And then once you cleanse the Nexus and you feel good about having all your Atlas points, you got the uniques you want maybe, now you start getting fractured orbs. And fractured orbs are really cool because you can see what this does. It fracture a random modifier on a rare item with at least 4 modifiers, locking it in place. So it turns grayish, I guess. And now this skill, it's random out of the 4. So it is random. But if you lock in a skill like this, now you could Chaos Orbit till you get the stuff that you want. And +3 to all minion skills would be really good because with Spectres and minions, and the minions are going to be good in this patch. So this is just showing off something great. But yes, this is something that will really important endgame crafting, let's say. So in Endgame, I'm really excited about the unique maps, and they actually don't want to call it unique maps anymore because they're going to be more common. And you should able to see some of these unique maps on the screen. You should be excited about something on the screen at all times, somewhere to get to. So here you can see the Silent Cave, and then over here you see we have another unique map over in this little corner down here. So now we got 2 things to be excited about on this one screen, where I felt like before when you're mapping, you could go 2-3 screens before you even get to a pinnacle boss. So now they're adding more fun things to do. The unique maps are really, really cool. You can see just how some of them actually work. Like this one right here, the terrain elevates from below. Literally, how cool is this? There's 2 of every rare monster in this map. And then now there's better rewards on all these unique maps as well. So I'm extremely excited to really get to Endgame to try this stuff out, because there's also a new map that basically spawns 10 bosses. So this map, basically what you're doing is you're going around activating these stones. Once you activate all these stones, you go to the middle and it just spawns boss after boss monster 10 times. Look how that is. And they get harder and harder, and you get better rewards. And this is how you're going to get some of the greater runes that are coming out, which I'll show you a picture of. So here's just some of the runes that you can get. You can pause it if you want to check them out. But these runes look really cool, especially like the skill speed, the meta skills energy gain. There is some really good stuff on here that's going to be great for a lot of builds. This gets me a little excited, guys, to this.
We've also done balance changes on literally every Ascendancy class as well.
Yep.
You know, Pathfinder has like 2 extra notables and some changes. Oh. You've got a new notable on Chronomancer. You've got a changes to, like, you know, Chrono was way too much utility stuff. Like, where's just my like good thing, you know? So like, you got like a good
thing.
My
bonk node.
You know, yeah, less niche, more something. And then we've just done that on every single class. We've upped a lot of the undertaken or bad things, and we've downed a lot of the really good, powerful things that were over the top. So
this is why we've gone back to the more conventional patch note cycle of a couple days.
Oh, the Chronomancer. Let's see what the good thing is. Come on, baby. That means Chronomancer is going to be better than Stormweaver. We shall see. All right, this last part here, they're talking about the game crashes. I still have problems with the game crashing on my PC, and I really shouldn't have. So let's hear what they got to say. There you have it. So they did some work. Obviously, some things are still going to be a little bit of an issue. But those are the main interesting points that I got out of it. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to make sure you guys got some more detail because it's coming out soon. Let's go. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe to Kefka. We're growing the channel. We freaking love it. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.